Thank you so much all for being here today. I wanted to quickly introduce myself. My name is Erik Kling. I work for Vodafone. Vodafone sometimes in the Americas is not as well known as in Europe. We are a mobile network operator. We are present in 27 countries of the world. We're also operating our own networks, especially in Europe and Africa, but also in Australia, New Zealand, Vodafone Egypt, Vodafone Turkey, Vodafone Brazil. So we are very large multinational MNO. We also do operate in the US. You don't see us typically on the street with the retail stores like our friends from an AT&T or Verizon. But we are very well active in the IoT space, in the B2B space. Our mission here in the Americas is that we are taking US-based global headquartered accounts global. And we also help, of course, our customers around Europe, Africa, and other parts of the world to come here to the US and operate in the US in the IoT arena as well. So relatively significant, the IoT organization for Vodafone has roughly 1,400 people worldwide. We are the market leader in IoT when it comes to connectivity. We do have operations, as I said, in 27 countries. And here in the US, I mentioned the strategic focus for us as well. Nevertheless, not only IoT, but also IoT, this is the topic of today, is sustainability. What does Vodafone do via IoT, outside our IoT, and with IoT in regards to sustainability and sustainability influential factors? And that's what I would like to talk a little bit about today. And I wrote one sentence down because everybody talks a lot about sustainability, and it's always good when you start talking about a topic to define what is it really. The United Nations in 1987 actually defined already sustainability, as we talk about it almost on a daily basis today, is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. That basically means we need to take responsibility today, what is happening for future generations to come, maybe when we all are not here anymore, and our children and children have a very good basis to live on a planet which is healthy and sustainable. So that I thought was interesting to define. Let's see if that clicker here works. Maybe the green one right here. Ah, yeah, perfect. So I will talk a little bit about the purpose of sustainability. Then I will come during the presentation of what do we see, what are the key pillars, what are the planet goals, where do we want to go to, talk a little bit about the timeline and also the examples. And I'm not only talking about examples of what are others doing, but also what is Vodafone contributing, doing to the sustainability goals. And I think that's really important. We basically go towards a digital society where we are connecting the people and we're digitalizing some very critical sectors. And I will talk a little bit about what does it mean for sustainability in a little bit. And inclusion for all, as well as for the planet, carbon emissions, and reduce also the CO2 influence around the globe. I think that's really important. So when it comes to the different pillars, we have the sustainable foundations. What does it mean today, tomorrow, and how does it work together? I think it's really all about the footprint, and it's all about how you are going to market in sustainability. And what we basically do on a Vodafone perspective, we not only looking today at what are we other doing, but we're enabling others, but also what are our internal initiatives. From an internal initiatives, we're already operating the Vodafone fleet 100% electrical. We also have renewable energy already deployed across our network. What does that really mean? We are powering our network across Europe with solar panels. and also be operating our own wind turbines to basically bring the electricity to our infrastructure and mobile network. 81% of our infrastructure today is powered by renewable sources, and by 2025, when you look at the calendar, not so far away, we want to operate 100% of our network with renewable energy. That means solar, wind, of course, where we are active. That means especially the African continent with Vodacom, but also Vodafone across Europe. I think that's also our contribution for ourselves. What do we do for sustainability? Because it's always easy to talk about it, but you got to do something as well. That fits very nicely into my next slide. What are the planetary goals? What we're aiming towards? And that basically has the following timeline. 2025, as I said, we really want to make sure we are 100% with renewable sources, which we are with 81% today already in a very good way. 2030, eliminate carbonite emissions completely. And by 2040, we want to be completely net zero in our environment. I think that's a very ambitious timeline, but so far, when we look at our different milestones, we are overachieving basically the timelines we set up for ourselves. And I think it's a very good example also how we want to meet the planetary goals as well as a mobile network operator using IoT, but also outside of our IoT. We, for example, have also another very nice activity within Vodafone is a Light as You Need program, which we just rolled out across 27 countries. Since when you look at us, when we look at our retail stores across Europe and different other continents, we are operating a lot of real estate as well across the globe. And we have in all our Vodafone point of sales a smart energy grid, if you want to call it, small store by store, where we really use the light as you need it, and we're saving a lot of energy this way as well. So we're trying to contribute wherever we can, and we truly also believe that when you look at it, environmental sustainability in total, it always improves financial performance as well, and I will reiterate that as well. When you see here the planetary goals and what I just said with net zero, we are full on the way. Enablement, we do also enable other companies to fulfill their goals as well. And with 350 million tons of carbon emission saved for our business customers to avoid that, we already have a very, very significant contribution. Circularity, which is also important for us, it's basically recycling in a different work. That includes all our network waste. That also includes the 1 million phones, which we do either reselling, reuse, or recycle in the partnership with World Wildlife Fund as well. So there is a very, very big focus, large focus from Vodafone on sustainability with our own contribution. Next slide. I talked a little bit about the path already, 2025, not very far away, 2030, and then the net zero at 2040. So I think that is something very significant. And also I think what is important is our network modernization, the efficiency based on the whole footprint. And when it also comes to not only sustainability, but also efficiency, but and also security, what we really try to do with the smart grid and utility and the layers of cybersecurity we're putting on, we have 4 basically major focuses on the network infrastructure. Number 1 is resilience, so that we really make sure that is in place. Zero trust environment as well via SaaS, software access service edge, for some of the in the room don't know, the encryption levels we are putting in place, and the end-to-end protection. And this layers of cybersecurity we are putting in is in addition also without adding to our carbon footprint, and where we also put a huge focus on sustainability as well. So overall, from the timeline, as I said, we are very far already on the road. Let me give you a couple of examples. This is, for example, a customer which is rolling out certain solar capabilities. We are monitoring the solar farms from the company called One Solar. This is one of an example, and you'll hear me talking about a couple of more, where we are enabling other organizations to help the planet to reach the zero emission goals. And not only that we are monitoring the solar, that they really know how to service the solar stations, how to manage their fleet of technicians going out if something might be broken or not working. I think IoT is in all corners of our life, and we heard it from Tara, the presenter before me. She also talked a lot about different use cases and different areas where really IoT is applicable, from the home in the morning to infrastructure monitoring and others. It's really also IoT connectivity without borders. You see it when you look at Vodafone and what we are doing and where we are doing it. We really are operating our IoT connectivity in up to 650 countries. We have 182 million connections live already today on a cellular basis for our customers in any kind of areas. And that includes, as Tara already mentioned also earlier, this could be healthcare, this could be diabetes, cardiorhythm management, sleep apnea, all kind of different diseases, clinical trial monitoring, when new medications are out in the field and getting monitored and getting approved and helping to improve the lives of many patients. There's a lot what IoT really does today, and which also contributes to the sustainability. Producing green energy with our IoT, you see here also an example for the feedback from the customer. They have 8 to 10% less technician visits because they're simply monitoring their estate remote, and also up to 1.1 tons of less emission saved, which I think is phenomenal. What I would like to give you for the end of my presentation, a little bit of an overview. Vodafone participated on a survey, and we were actually running that survey over 301 organizations, and we were asking a couple of questions. What does it really mean for using IoT in their field, and what means it for sustainability? We talked, did you bring a technology breakthrough while using IoT? And 63% answered with yes. The second question was, how was your adoption of reusable energy using IoT? Was 44%. The next question was reducing energy consumption. What does it really mean for energy consumption? And 37% of all participants said, yes, we reduced the energy consumption as well through a smart handling of our operations. The next question was, I think was also really interesting, was organic biodegradable packaging materials. How was your change from original plastic or anything going into a new modern organic way? Where 36% of all companies were changing to organic biodegradable packaging materials, which I thought also was unbelievable for me, that this kind of effect we already achieved with IoT. So overall, I think from a strategic advantage of using green technology, it got a priority in the boardrooms across all different areas and different verticals and different use cases. It's not just, healthcare or transportation or fleet or any other vertical. It really goes through all areas. And what also in the survey came out at the end, 47% say they achieved through sustainability higher profits, which I think was also really, really remarkable. So it's not just, you do something for the sake of just doing it and putting on a piece of paper. You really see a profit and you're doing something good, the end result, which is amazing. And 22% at the end of the survey said we're going to put in the future more programs in place to make sure we reach our sustainability goals, we are participating of the goals in the society and the goals of the planet, and ultimately also we are improving our bottom line. So I think that was an amazing result from our survey we got. I also wanted to show that we are not only enabling third parties or different companies to reach their goals and work more efficiently and have higher profits, but also we actively participating in our own operations as well on a day-to-day basis. We also have in the area of our suppliers a clear directive that all our suppliers who supply infrastructure to us also have the sustainability goals in place and are in lockstep with us where we want to go through the timeline I showed you earlier, which I think is really, really good. And I think that as a last topic I also wanted to mention is, when obviously, IoT comes to the rescue, where is IoT used when it comes to catastrophes or landslides, earthquakes, or so on. And I think also IoT does a lot in these areas, and we are running across Europe and Africa and also here in the US a couple of projects where we do landslide monitoring. Where we have sensors out in the field where earth is eroding, where we can basically take measurements to make sure that this is not escalating and it is not going in a fast pace. And another IoT use case where it's all under sustainability, help Mother Earth, what I found very interesting was we are running in Spain a trial where we put loudspeakers in the forest and sensors into the forest, and when they are detecting chainsaws coming, where basically people come into the forest and cut the trees without any permit whatsoever, it gets immediately detected to the Forest Service. The Forest Service goes out and says, what's going on in the forest? Why is somebody coming and cutting the forest down? I thought that was really interesting as well. And in a couple of other areas as well, like earthquake detection. We do this in different areas in the world. Actually, we had a project in Haiti running with this. We had a project in southern Italy as well, where we're using IoT for a very good case and also for sustainability and so on. So that is from my presentation. As Carl used a little bit more time, I wanted to give you a little bit time back. And I hope I gave you a little bit quick overview what sustainability means. What does it mean for Vodafone? How are we contributing? And how is IoT with all the applications and companies out there and also our partners and customers doing it? And I would like to encourage all of you to participate in all the activities of saving the planet and doing something positive for Mother Earth, independently where it is in North America, in Europe, in Africa, elsewhere. And thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Thank you, Carl.